And now, it's Boomer Life. Lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life on CIL 650.
Got a friend.
Welcome to Boomer Life on CIL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton. Thanks for joining us today. On today's show, we're going to be speaking with our guests and friends from the Alzheimer Society of British Columbia. And our main focus today is going to be why volunteers matter. It's a salute to the volunteers up front and behind the scenes of the Alzheimer Society, the work that they do, their contributions, and why they're so important. And joining me in studio today is CEO Maria Howard. So thanks for being here, Maria.
Thanks for having me, Joanne.
So now when we last connected with the Alzheimer's Society of BC and the last time we did a show, we checked on the progress of one of the Society's initiatives, dementia-friendly communities. Now, we touched on this topic many times over the past year, but last month we focused on the development of the Train the Trainer program, and it's a partnership between the Alzheimer's Society and the City of Vancouver that helps create curricula to provide city employees and volunteers and give them the tools to better support community members living with dementia. We spoke with Mario Gregorio. He's a longtime volunteer with the Society who is actually living with dementia. And we spoke to him about his experience as a member of the Society's leadership group for people with dementia. It's a working group that provides feedback from the perspectives of people that are living with the disease on materials that include Train the Trainer, which was the main focus. After Mario, we also spoke with Carol Ann Young, and Carol Ann is a senior social planner for the City of Vancouver, and she was able to speak very eloquently about the City of Vancouver's commitment to helping create dementia-friendly communities. Also on that show, we spoke with Monica Wallini, and she is one of the co-chairs of the Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's that's scheduled for Vancouver. And let me remind you that you can always hear previous shows. If you missed last month's show, you can get that on both of our websites on cl650.com and at alzheimerbc.org. So fast forward to today, we're going to be returning to a familiar theme as we look ahead to National Volunteer Week, and that's coming up April 23rd through the 29th. We'll be talking about the important role that volunteers play in society operations, from providing strategic oversight on the board of directors to providing support to families across the province who are on that dementia journey, to driving fundraising initiatives like the Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's. But before we begin, as always, I would like to remind our listeners that there is a lot of information online about the Alzheimer's Society of BC, as well as a wealth of resources. And if you have any questions, of course, you can talk to a friend or a doctor, but you can always get the information online at alzheimerbc.org. And you can also call the Society, of course. So, Maria, could you start us off today by introducing the role that volunteers play with the Alzheimer's Society of BC? I know they're really an integral part of your operation.
Certainly, Joanne. They are critically important because, in fact, in 1981, when the Alzheimer's Society of BC began, it began with a group of volunteers, a group of people who really had personal experiences with living with Alzheimer's, who came together and said, we need to do something to help others who are going through this. And thus, from those first few people, the society has grown to today where we have over 500-600 volunteers that help in so many ways, and as you said, our board of directors are volunteers. Many of the people who support our events are volunteers. Our dementia helpline, which is a provincial phone line that anybody can phone into, is supported through volunteers. They are critical. There's no way the Alzheimer's Society BC could reach out and help as many people and make a difference in this province if it wasn't for people who are volunteering and who really care and want to come back and help others. And what is so amazing about the volunteers that we have is that people bring their own skills and their own experiences and their own passion. And once they sort of connect with whatever that activity is around the society that means something to them, it is like sort of a burst of energy or electricity that people just then naturally come together. And, lots of people who volunteer with us have had personal experiences, and so they know what it's like. But there's lots of people who volunteer with us who haven't had a direct contact with Alzheimer's, but recognize it's so important to reach out and help the community, which is really our dementia-friendly society or dementia-friendly community idea.
Mm-hmm. And everybody volunteers for different personal reasons.
Absolutely.
You don't have to have a personal connection just to be involved with the Alzheimer's Society of BC.
No, and again, the wonderful thing about the volunteer experiences or opportunities within our organization is that they really vary. So again, some people might just volunteer with one event, so one time a year for a few hours, where we have other people who are really committed and again, support like our dementia helpline, where they might come and volunteer a couple hours a week the whole year. So it really is about having people bring their interest, their experience, their skills, and matching them to the thing that really makes them feel like they are helping others too.
Well, I think we're all very respectful that the volunteers do play a fundamental part of the work that's being done at the Society right now. Is there anything else, Maria, that you want to share about the Society, some information for us before we introduce our guest for today?
Thanks, Joanne. I think, one of the most important messages the Society is really looking to promote is for people to become informed and really understand what it's like to live with Alzheimer's or a type of dementia. That is really the first step, is reaching out and having that courage to gather information and then make personal decisions about what this may mean for you or your family. And the Society has a number of ways that we want to be available to people across the province. We're a provincial organization. As we've said, the Alzheimer's website, alzheimerbc.org, has vast amounts of information from our events to our supports and programs. We have our dementia helpline, which the number is 1-800-936-6033. People can phone that during the week, and it's staffed either through a volunteer or a staff person, and we are very happy to answer any questions and help people sort of start to figure out what this experience may mean for them or someone they know. It's really important to reach out and start that conversation.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the reasons we're all here today.
Absolutely.
So our first guest on today's show is Robert Piazentine. Now, Robert volunteers as the first vice chair of the Society's board of directors. Is that correct?
Yes, he does. He's been with the board for about a year. He is a lawyer, and so he brings a wonderful level of experience in legalese, but he is also very passionate. He has a personal experience, and so he comes to the Society as a volunteer who brings, again, many skills that helps us just be that much stronger.
Also on today's show, we're going to meet Stacey Ashton. Now, Stacey is with the Alzheimer's Society BC. She's the provincial program coordinator for volunteer resources.
Yes, it's really exciting to have Stacey here. She is a new employee, and her position is also new. As the Society has grown, we've recognized that really because there are so many wonderful volunteers and so many people supporting the Society, we really needed to give support to people in a very formal way. And so Stacey has been hired to be the inaugural volunteer coordinator and really set up a very formalized volunteer support program.
We're relying on her to be our volunteer expert today.
She is.
Now, we also have on the show Ron Angel and Shara Morgan. Now, they're in studio. They're going to be in studio with us and joining us for our Getting Involved segment of the program. Now, Ron and Shara will be talking about the upcoming Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's, which is scheduled for the 7th of May.
Yes. The Walk for Alzheimer's on May 7th is it's a signature event for the Society. It's a wonderful opportunity where the Society partners with Investors Group and really is about raising awareness and funds to support people living with Alzheimer's. The walk could not be successful without all the volunteers and the volunteer committee chairs who come and really help grow this walk. And so to hear from Ron and Shara today, I think is just excellent, because they are perfect examples of volunteers who are really making a big difference.
I can't wait to hear their story. Actually, I look forward to hearing more from all of our guests today. And I really like how you've highlighted all the volunteers from the Alzheimer's Society of BC. It's really all about the team, and the volunteers truly are the backbone, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're the ones who bring the energy.
Thanks, Maria. So up next, we will meet a member of the board with a personal connection to Alzheimer's. So stay with us on Boomer Life on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.